Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now, here's Jay.
Hello, here is Jay, and I do agree with what's being said on this show. So, welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. I got a lot to go through today, so I'll try to keep rolling, but we have Richard or Ricky Martin with us today to discuss real estate in general and real estate in the Palm Springs area, greater area that is. So please call, email, or visit www.drheckham.com. That's drhecm.com. And or email me just bestloantoday@gmail.com. That's sometimes the easiest way, when that's okay. But be sure to jump over to the YouTube channel. There's a link about halfway down the first page. I've made some changes, and one of the pictures at the top also takes you to the recorded shows. There's a lot there on that site, and separate sections on a lot of everything. And as far as the videos are concerned, they are split up on the YouTube channel between my yapping about movies and music and the good stuff from the guests and some whole shows also. So the website's got so much on it, it would be great, and I'd be honored if you just took a look at it or give me a call, because knowledge is power. 866-955-2233. 866-955-2233. And yes, I have a day job. My NMLS is my license to do loans, and the number is 384565. No, that's not my age. That's the number on my license. I'm also licensed as a realtor, but I do not do real estate. Depending on where you were looking to buy, if it were in the Palm Springs area, I would recommend our guest today, Ricky. But in any case, my DRE number is 792630. And we, like I had said, we got a lot to go through. So just remember, this is going to be a subject we're going to talk about later. Inflation is likely to increase substantially in the wake of COVID-19, making nearly everything more expensive. And I'm going to throw in, I think that goes for real estate too. What's the best action to take, which eliminates existing mortgage payments and leaves an available line of credit should they need to increase their cash flow even more? Of course, that would be a HECM, or a home equity conversion, or if you want to use some antiquated terms, the reverse mortgage. Now today, what is today? It's National Comic Book Day, and that's to celebrate the artists, and stories of comic books. And one of the earliest known comic books was printed in 1842, called The Adventures of, what is that? What's the first name? Abadiah?
Abadiah.
Okay, I said it right. I guess Abadiah Old Buck. I ain't got a copy of that. But the original copy of Action Comics #1, which introduced Planet Earth to Superman, became the most expensive that sold for $3.2 million. Now, before you try to find out where you live so you can come get this, it's not this one. In fact, this came with a tribute box, which I guess I don't have here, that my son got me a few years ago for my birthday. And this was a comic book made specifically for that purpose. So there you go. 3.2 million. Anyway, here's something kind of interesting. Oh, well, let me show you a few more. Okay, I think I've shown you these before. And no, I don't want that because that was written afterwards. There's a couple of things here which are not comic books, and I want to make sure you know they're not comic books. These are graphic novels. And this one is probably one of the best novels I've ever read. It's considered one of the best 100 novels ever written in the 20th century. This may be right there also, but my suspension of disbelief was easier here because this lives in an alternate universe. Oh, and this is the way these things originated in Japan. This is the ring, which most of us seem to be familiar with. And it goes from, the front is what we would consider the back, and it runs backwards. And this one was translated. Okay, just want to make sure. So one thing I thought that I found that was fairly interesting as far as comic books is 4 years before The Philosopher's Stone, featuring Harry Potter, Neil Gaiman published, well, just in case you don't know who Neil Gaiman is, he's, which way is up? There's a movie he was a big part of, very interesting and very, how would you call it?
Artsy.
Very artsy, okay. Neil Gaiman published a comic book featuring an English boy who finds out he's a wizard on his 12th birthday and receives an owl from a magical stranger. Now, I think that's pretty weird, but when it comes to plagiarism, here's what Neil had to say. He said the similarity was noted by a journalist from the Scotsman newspaper who asked Gaiman what he thought about Rowling, and what he said was that this was not the first writer to create a young magician with potential, nor was Rowling the first to send one to school. So he doesn't believe Rowling had any plagiarism or even read or saw his books before she did her work. And what Gaiman is pointing back to for some things would be the books of magic, where a lot of those similar things happened, written by T.H. White. And today is Lobster Day. And did you know lobsters can live 100 years old and grow 4 feet long and weigh 40 pounds? I think I saw 44 pounds once. They're amazingly smart animals that rival the octopus, which I guess that looks more like the face hugger than an octopus. It's said that an octopus is smarter than dogs, pigs, or birds. So remember 2008, when thousands and thousands of older homeowners lost their homes because there was no such thing as a forbearance, let alone paying other bills. Was this part of? So if they had a heck of them, they'd probably still not lost their homes. So isn't it time to learn what that really is? Learn more about how to protect what you already have. And call me, 866-955-2233. I think I missed showing you something in the comic book era. Did I?
Autograph of Kirk Allen.
Kirk Allen, okay. This guy used to play Superman on television. And my favorite Superman cartoons, Max Fleischer did. And one thing about these cartoons, they were a little on the dark and mysterious side. So they reminded me a lot of my favorite comic book guy, which was Batman, but these were the closest things to it. So, with that, let's get into, let's see how we're going with time. So I'll throw in another little commercial. So, call me. And why do you want to call me? Let's just have a mellow conversation with an emphasis only on education. Remember, so many of us are turning older and living longer. We are seeing so many more seniors want to at least have the information. What is a reverse mortgage? What does it mean? What have I been told about it and what's right or wrong about it? So only if you have an understanding, you can make the best decision for you and your family. If you think you already have an opinion on the heck'em, it's probably not correct. So let's just talk. 866-952-2233. So let's remember that we believe in challenging the status quo. Families and people need to be active, not reactive. And let me wave to Ron on Facebook, Ron Siegel's son. Ron Siegel, of course, has a great show on this network, 1490 KMET. And I sometimes show up on his show, and sometimes he shows up on my shows. But whose birthday is it today? It's not mine. It's not Ron Siegel's that I know of. It is the birthday of Christopher Reeve, who joined us in 1952 and unfortunately left us in 2004. So while studying acting at Cornell University, he received a call from an agent the agent that discovered Robert Redford and represented Michael Douglas, whose birthday it also is, but one at a time. So he's best known for his Superman roles that started in 1978. We've already looked at some Superman things. So he did turn down some other Macho Man roles because he didn't want to be typecast forever. He turned down Romancing the Stone. He turned down American Gigolo. He turned down Lethal Weapon. I can't see him thinking about that. I can see him in Romancing the Stone, but that turned out really well. I don't see him in Lethal Weapon. He was too nice a guy. Even as Superman, he was almost too nice. But he was in Superman, Superman 2, Superman 3, Somewhere in Time, which there is a album from that. That was some great music that was written by John Barry. And that same music was also used in Out of Africa, and that same music was also used in Moonraker. But what the heck, it was good. Now, Death Trap, which I don't have a thing of, Village of the Damned, and is that the same name that the original one? So Village of the Damned was also redone by John Carpenter, but the original one was on television today. I saw as I walked around. He, just to let you know, he built his own sailboat and sailed it from Chesapeake to Nova Scotia. He was very highly involved in environmental issues and human rights. He took horseback riding lessons 5 to 6 days every week so he could compete. In 1995, he was severely injured while horseback riding, and he passed away in 2004. Will Smith was born on this day in 1986, and although he wanted to be a rapper, and that's what he kept trying to do, he ended up mostly, although he won 4 Grammys for his rapping, he was nominated for 5 Golden Globe Awards and nominated for 2 Academy Awards, and like I said, won 4 of them for his rapping, as for Grammys, that is, for his rapping. He is the only actor that has 8 consecutive films that grossed over 100,000. No, that grossed over $100 million, and he grew up in Philadelphia. Turned down a scholarship for MIT. Science wasn't his thing because he wanted to be a rapper. Movies include, of course, we all love, and this is one of our. We watch 2 movies every 4th of July, and Jaws, and this one. And he was also in Enemy of the State, and he was also featured in all of the Men in Black movies. I Am Legend, and that's a story, by the way, written by, Richard Matheson, who also wrote Somewhere in Time, by the way. He's responsible for so many of the Twilight Zone episodes, including one of my favorites, and one that still scares me, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner, as well as, well, like I said, Somewhere in Time. And the 3, he wrote I Am Legend, that showed up 3 times as movies. Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. Okay, this one gets high marks for zombie movies, actually. Omega Man, and of course, I Am Legend. And my good friend Lewis in Florida, this is his favorite of that group. Matheson also wrote much of the adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe stories for Roger Corman. He was a member of the Southern California Sorcerers Group. And we'll just give a quick shout out now to Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones that were born on this day, the same birthdays. Mine is only 4 days apart from my wife, but he's got a lot of years between his birthday and his wife's. So also a shout out to Mark Hamill, who was born this day in 1951. And also we have NASA Nelly to talk to us about what happened on this day. So please take over, NASA Nelly.
Okay.
And where are the...
Oh, the shrinking man, too.
Yeah, but give me the pictures.
Oh.
No, we don't have time for that. We got to get rolling. So
There you go.
there we go.
On actually September 19th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill, along with their dog Delcy, were driving down an empty, winding country road.
I'm trying to get you to see what she looks like, but you know.
In around actually 10:30 p.m. in the mountains of New Hampshire. They hadn't seen a car for miles when a strange light in the sky seemed to follow them. First, it looked like a falling star and then grew larger and brighter. They pulled over to take a look with binoculars, and that white light looked like an object spinning in the air. Too quiet for a helicopter, not a plane or a jet. It hovered over the treetops, was round and flat with windows and gray uniformed beings looking through the windows at Barney. So they jumped back into the car, drove hysterically while loud beeps sounded from the car's trunk, and suddenly they lost consciousness and came around 2 hours later and 35 miles down the road. This was about to become the first publicly claimed alien abduction case. Over the following weeks and months, Betty and Barney were separately subject to hypnosis sessions to reveal a strange story of alien contact, frightening experimentation, and telepathic discussions with the leader that created a star map showing their origin from the stars. Truly a close encounter of the fourth kind. The book captured, written by Kathleen Martin and their niece, who was their niece, and researcher Stanton Freeman. It records the unusual story of Betty and Barney's hypnotic revelations. And there's the book.
And here's the book. And thank you very much. They did go through the hypnosis, and you can hear some of that hypnosis as it happened on the internet. It sounds pretty frightening. And I don't know, if it was me and I was the psychiatrist, I would have probably tried to hypnotize the dog. But we do have, here comes my friend. There you go. Say hello. That's not exactly NASA Nelly, but it's close enough. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, and we're going to get into the subject of real estate in just a few minutes with our guest, Richard or Ricky Martin, who knows all about the Palm Springs area and actually a lot more than that. So take care, and we'll talk to you again in a couple of minutes. Thanks so much.